Well, Tony, I fucked up not having you turn the air on in here last night.
Steamy? Steamy?
Yeah, it's warm in here. Don't you think so?
I'm always hot. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Boom, and welcome to the Big Honker Podcast, brought to you by Stanfield Hunting Outfitters. I'm Jeff Stanfield with the world-famous Andy Shaver.
Hunting season is coming. You have been fielding calls all morning long.
Yeah,
been busy long.
Been busy morning so far
well,
around here.
That's good.
Yep.
What dates we got available? Anything?
Yeah, I've got dates left. I've got all 3 months. I've got a couple of dates left. And I've got a lot of dates in January left still. November, if I don't sell another November hunt, we're sold out. I could do hunts in November. I've got the week before Thanksgiving, the Monday, Tuesday available. And those are really good dates. And I think actually November, the weekend before Christmas, I had a group that had to move it to a different date. They just came open. So I have a group that I could do the week before Thanksgiving, I believe. I think that's about it.
That's my favorite time of year.
Oh, I know. It's a great time to hunt. And
specs are dumb. We usually have a lot of them.
I think I have a weekend.
Not depending on weather.
No, I have a weekend in January. I can still do a group, and I have some weekdays in January left. If you want to shoot some cranes, I got some January dates left. And then I'll have a couple of specials that I'll run for small groups. I've filled in opening weekend of goose season. I filled in, sold that all out. And I'll have a couple more dates I'll set aside for 2s and 3s. I'll start doing that next week. Because I got a lot of people that are 2s and 3s looking for places. They're single hunters. Yeah. And that way, and it's funny, if you come up here as a single hunter and there's another group, you'll usually have 20 guys here of 1s and 2s. It seems like the next year those groups are groups of 6s and 7s because they all pool together and hunt together.
They're all buddies now.
Yep, become friends. They have something common in common. So Here we are. We just got back from a filming expedition.
We did.
Is Louisiana the hottest place you've ever been in the summertime?
Oh boy, those people are built different down there.
At summertime, they eat so damn good. Gosh almighty, the food is absolutely.
But when that Cajun AC ain't going and you're stuck out there in the water.
I've never been in the ocean before where the wind didn't blow.
Man, it was bad. Those people are bred different down there. I'm telling you.
It was hot. And they said the wind had been blowing a long time. I thought, well, I wish I'd been there when it was a little windier.
Just a little bit windier. I don't want the full thing, but a little bit of wind would have been a lot easier. Season 2 of the First Family of Waterfowl is out now. The first episode dropped last night, so be sure to check that out over the weekend. It's pretty good.
I was very proud of it. Turned out really good. It was a good part about Harry in there. Yeah. I miss old Harry's ass around here. Tony misses Harry around here.
Yeah, Tony misses him. That's the one.
Yeah, boy, cancer is a terrible fucking disease, and it happens. Every family's been affected by it. It's just a horrible, horrible deal. I don't know. Do you think there'll ever be a cure for cancer? I don't.
Well, I don't know. Probably. I mean, there's ways to manage it now.
It's such a what's the word I'm looking for? It affects everyone different. Mm-hmm. It's not it's not like a path. Like if you've got I can't think if you have any other disease that you have, muscular dystrophy. Mm-hmm. I think it's pretty much the same for everybody. I think or MS they call it ALS, same way. And so, stroke, well, I guess a stroke can definitely be different. But if you have blockage in your heart, and you have to have heart. But cancer's so designed, or it treats every person completely different because it's a whole different type of animal. So I don't know. Everybody always says there's too much money in cancer. They can't find a cure. Well, there's too many wealthy people like Steve Jobs that died of cancer.
Well, that was a long time ago too, though.
How long ago did Steve Jobs die? 10 years ago?
Yeah. Well, no, over that because it was our honeymoon in New York. He had just died. They were putting apples out on the Apple Store.
So 15 years?
No, 12.
12 years.
But that was a long time ago. We've come a long way. I think that Is cancer worse now because of all the stuff that we see in our food, the Roundup?
It has to be because
they say dandelions. I think dandelions. I might get that wrong. Dandelions are something that you could use to prevent a lot of the diseases that we see today. Well, with Roundup and everything else, that's like the first thing that we kill, because I think dandelions are the first thing that kind of pops up in the early spring, and then we just spray everything and get rid of those.
I think that cancer is worse now than it used to be. Population's bigger, of course, and all I can go by is what I've seen in my 55 years being on this deal. So let's say 45 years. From 10 on, I was pretty, you remember a lot from 10 years on things. I don't remember ever having a cancer center around me when I was a kid. I'm sure that other than MD Anderson, the Mayo Clinic, there were a few other places that did it, Scott and White and Temple, but I didn't know much about cancer centers. Every town you go to now, the fanciest, brand new, nicest place is an oncology center. Mm-hmm. Every town. Well, they wouldn't have them if there wasn't more and more people that had them.
Right.
And maybe they didn't have the medical expertise they have now. I mean, I'm sure medicine gets better all the time, but I don't know. I think cancer is a lot more. I don't know. I'm trying to think of the word for it. There's more and more people have cancer now than they used to have.
Right here, dandelion root extract demonstrated anti-cancer effects against melanoma and leukemia, as well as pancreatic and colorectal cancer.
So if you drank some dandelion tea,
you can make a tea. I'm sure they make it in like a capsule form, but for whatever reason, a lot of people have gone and just we got to kill those things. We got to kill the dandelions. Dandelion root kills 98% of cancer cell in 48 hours. So I mean, there's a little bit of stuff about this, but I'm sure it's just like anything else. They're not going to look at it. They're going to call you crazy if you...
No, because it's cheap.
It grows in your yard, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like marijuana.
Right. Like, everybody's got dandelions in March.
We came back from last night from the airport, and I rode with Andy, and I got to listen to Bob Kennedy. Is that what you call him?
You call him whatever.
What does he go by?
I think Robert.
Right. Okay. Well, I didn't know. You said Bob the other day. He's being a smart ass.
Me and Bobby?
Yeah. So Robert is the name he goes by.
I guess. I haven't got to talk to him yet.
His dad went by Bobby Kennedy.
Right.
And so that's why I was wanting to know. Anyways, I listened to him last night.
Robert Kennedy Jr.
And my problem, I'm voting for Trump if Trump's on the ticket, is what's going to happen. But if I didn't vote for Trump, I don't think there's a Republican out there that I would vote for over Robert Kennedy Jr. The problem I have is voting for the Democratic Party because the party's so been taken over by the left. But he is a very, very interesting man, and I can't think of one thing that he said. Now politicians lie all the time, but I can sit there and listen to Bernie Sanders talk 5 minutes and I want to fucking throw up because everything he says I disagree with. Mm-hmm. The same with Barack Obama. 90% of the shit he said I didn't agree. And some of the things Barack Obama said that he never did, I really thought was pretty, he's going to bring everybody together and all this bullshit that he never did. Robert Kennedy, it's hard to find anything he says that doesn't have common sense in it.
So far.
Yes. Now, I have not listened to his speech on oil, and I haven't listened to his gun control speech. But his big pharma stuff,
big pharma, anti-war machine,
has got me very interested. Because I'm
anti-censorship.
I'm thinking back now from World War II to present day. I don't know much about the Korean War. I think we got involved with that to fight communism, which is the excuse of the war machine every other war we've ever been into. But let's be honest with ourselves. There ain't much more of a communistic fucking country than the United States when it comes to telling other countries what to do with their shit. Am I off base on that?
Probably not.
And I love America. And I know we're not a communistic country, but we sure do dictate what everybody else does all the time or to try to tell them what to do. And I don't think it's the American citizen doing it. I think it's that elite group that's fucking us up, our whole country right now. But Robert Kennedy's against the war machine, and I'm against the war machine. Mm-hmm. How many kids have died for unknown reasons?
A lot.
For no reason at all other than to make some politician rich or to control some oil or diamonds or heroin or whatever the fuck we were trying to do. And living proof of that is there ain't shit in middle of sub-Sahara Africa. Don't have shit there.
Mm-hmm.
Or we'd have been fighting over that thing for 200, 300 years ago.
It was basically a civil war that we got involved in the 50s.
Yeah, in the Korean War, because the communists were
North and South Koreans were basically in a civil war. So
North Korea wanted to. That's where Little Moon Guy is, what, right?
Yeah, North Korea.
And so South Korea was having to fight against. I think the Russians and the communists were involved with North Korea, and they were going to try to take over the whole Korean peninsula.
The U.S. initially did not want to get involved in any kind of invasion. They didn't want to get tangled up with North Korea, much less China or the Soviet Union. On August 29th, 1949, the Soviets detonated their first atomic bomb. I didn't know they ever detonated it. I'm guessing they didn't launch it on anybody.
No, probably in the middle of the water somewhere.
Leaked a blueprint of Fat Man, atomic bomb to the Soviets. The revelation stoked Cold War paranoia. Mao. The Chinese still doesn't really say. I guess we were just scared because Russia and China kind of got involved, and we were maybe afraid of what this could spiral into.
I guess so. I'm going to tell you right now, if I was the Japanese, I'd be some scared sumbitches right now, the Chinese.
Proclaiming the communist imperialism was a threat to democracy.
Yeah, just an excuse for us to be in war.
So let's go back over there.
And get a bunch of kids killed for a line that's still in the ground right there.
Right?
And I don't know much about it, but I think if they would have, they wouldn't let us go across that line. If we'd have done what we wanted to do, we'd have drove them some bitches all the way back to Russia. I think. I don't know much. You know, Korean War is kind of a lost war. You don't hear much about it.
Yeah.
You know, you had the World War II and the Vietnam War, and the one in the middle nobody really paid much attention to.
3 million? 3 million. The Korean War was among the most destructive conflicts in modern era. 3 million war.
Well, yeah, there's been 5 wars in the modern
larger
era.
Proportional civilian death toll than World War II. In Vietnam. But I don't think that is all just Americans, though.
No, it's 3 million people died.
Total. I wanted U.S. casualties.
You can probably find it right there if you look it up.
I did.
Go to the right.
casualties.
You messed up. Go to the right. Right there.
That's all war.
United States military casualties of war. It will probably list them. List military dead.
All war. American Revolution lost 66,000. That's not very many.
Well, it was back then.
War of 1812. Boy, there's a lot of battles. I didn't even know there were war. Those are the Indian times, I guess.
World War I. Hold on, go up. World War I. World War II, we lost 1 million people.
128,000.
In the
Korean War.
Vietnam War, we lost 211,000. I thought we lost more than that there.
No, that just took forever. Holy shit, 1955 to 1975 is what they listed it.
Right, but I don't think it was that long.
What do you mean? You think Wikipedia is wrong?
I think the actual war probably was 6 years there.
320,000 in World War I.
1 million in World War II. See what we lost in Desert Storm.
Go for we lost 1,000.
38,000. Iraq War, we lost 36,000. War in Afghanistan, we've lost 22,000 kids.
What did you ask?
That's what
the Gulf War?
Yeah, one of those. That's what I meant. Desert Storm, the Gulf War, same thing.
1,000?
Yeah.
What's the total we've almost 3 million?
Oh, there it goes right now. War ranked by U.S. battle deaths right down there. American Civil War, we lost. The World War II.
We lost the most.
Yeah. I don't know. Them numbers are so different than the ones from before, so I don't know. It says we lost 291,000 World War II. The one up there showed 1 million.
That's
wounded. Okay. Total U.S. casualties.
Okay, let's do this again. I was in the wrong column. Where were we? Okay. It's 116, 405, 36,000, 58,000.
I still think you're in the wrong column.
No, total. Total U.S. deaths.
Okay.
Don't come at me, boy. Now's not the time. 58,000 in Vietnam.
We did
294.
we can talk a little bit about this stuff. We went through a quick walkthrough of the World War II Museum in New Orleans, and I was shocked because in the European theater, we had 300,000 troops in there. The Germans had 3 million soldiers.
10-1. If my math is right off the top of my head.
Your math's correct.
Pretty spot on.
I was reading a note in there, and it was from a German kid talking to his mother and back and forth about stuff. And then there was another note next to it. One of the notes said, or it was not a note, it was a written piece of paper, and it was given the statistics, and said that the German soldiers had better equipment, but they had to make everything they have last and count. Because if they blew up an American airplane, the next day there was 2 more.
We had them on.
We had them on quantity, not quality.
Oh.
The quality of their weaponry was better than ours in most cases, but the quantity that we had was just absolutely phenomenal.
But that's counterintuitive because they outnumbered us 10-1.
But they didn't have enough weapons for everyone.
Oh.
And their war machine, every time we'd blow up a plant they couldn't blow up our plants in America. The only way they could do anything was to blow up a ship bringing the stuff over.
Right.
I think that during the height of World War II, Etzel Ford was the kid's name. He was the CEO of Ford Motor Company. His father, Henry Ford, was against the war. He didn't want to be involved. He was trying to play it. He was trying to sell shit to the Germans, sell stuff to he was trying to stay out of it, except make a big profit. Well, his son Etzel did not want to stay out of it, and they changed over their plants. And I think it was maybe in Dearborn, Michigan, they built the B-24. You can look this up because this is pretty interesting. We were rolling off one B-24 bomber, either one a day or one per hour, and I think it was one per hour. And a lot of them were done by women.
Most of them.
Because all the men were shopping. Nah, not all. No, there was a lot of places still had men working. I mean, older men. But I mean, like in Wichita, Kansas, my grandmother was Rosie the Riveter. She worked and built airlines for Boeing in Wichita, Kansas.
It was every hour.
Every hour they popped off a new B-24 bomber.
Yeah.
The Germans didn't have that luxury because we were blowing the shit out of all their stuff. It's not luxury because they deserved every fucking thing that happened to them. But we were blowing up their plants, and they couldn't replace stuff as quick as we could.
Right. That's why America, it's going to be tough because we're basically isolated from everything.
That's our advantage that we've had on the rest of the world.
We got 2 oceans and a river.
You could build a 20-foot wall on our south end of that shit, and that would be the end of it.
Right.
The Canadians ain't going to invade us. And the Mexicans ain't going to invade us, but everybody's coming through Mexico to get to here. Because of how corrupt their federal government is. Their federal government's almost as corrupt as ours.
Pretty close. I did see that Trump's date is May 20th of next year.
Of course. They're going to try to keep him tied up. And they're going to put something else on him.
71 felonies.
Yep, and he's going to get indicted, or he's going to get convicted of 0 of them.
Think so?
Yeah, he's not, this is what's hypocritical about the whole thing. I'm not saying Trump is an innocent man by any standards, but he loves our country. I really believe that. He never apologizes. That's something I think he could work on a little bit to, I screwed this up or that up, and we've had that conversation.
That's not happening at 75. At 75?
No, you're not going to get him to change on that. But compared to the shit on the other side of the aisle, the Bidens and the Clintons, the Obamas and all them fuckers and all the Bushes and all the shit they've been involved with, nothing ever. You've got a laptop that basically shows they've got a cocaine they found in the White House. They can't find nothing else, but by God, they can track down every motherfucker that was at January 6th, but they can't find the fucking look at a camera and see who left cocaine in the White House.
Yeah.
You got Epstein's client book, but none of the Johns have been arrested. Not one. Just don't add up. They're after Trump because they don't want him drunk, so they're scared of him. But now they got a problem from within because now they got to fucking deal with Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't want to deal with him, and they don't like him.
I don't blame him. That's why I like him. I like the outside.
I really enjoyed listening to him. I did. I really did. I like everything. Everything he's talked about, I've heard. He has not said one thing I disagree with yet. Not one thing.
So
far. I'm not saying there's not going to be stuff. But what's going to be funny is the Democrats are going to have to take a lot of their luster to try to keep. They're attacking him now, I think.
Yeah, they hit him. He testified on Capitol Hill yesterday, and I think he pretty well just dismantled them all over censorship.
Well, that and Fauci.
I don't know if they talked much about that. I think it was just censorship.
Fauci will go down in the history books as the next Benedict Arnold, basically. When all said and done, what a traitor he was. And it's not just him; it's everybody involved with the National Health Institute.
Well, you can tell you're getting a slant.
What do you mean?
It's just funny how different things are.
Oh, when you look at the news, it's always slanted negative against them.
Like all this, Democrat dismantles RFK to his face for disgracing the Kennedy name. RFK flip-flop testimony.
That's when you know you're doing good, when they do that shit. Otherwise, they'd let you learn it for yourself.
Right.
I mean, but that's their way of trying to slant the news. The news is so slanted, it's not even funny. There's never been a time that we know of in our country that there's been more propaganda lied to us by the government. And I'm sure it's happened many other times. We just didn't know it.
Yeah. Oh, well.
We couldn't have a World War II today.
No,
we got too many pussies in our country.
Well, and we're way too divided.
Well, even the division part, because the media that's controlled by 1% of the people in this country slant everything to make us look like the bad guy all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, food-wise, we talked a lot about food this weekend, and I did not realize that there's so many things that you can't eat in Europe that we're allowed to have here.
Yeah.
What is the new snack that they won't make? Is it Mountain Dew?
I don't know.
I think that's what I was told.
I know the Prime Energy drink they don't allow over there.
I don't. Yeah, the Mountain Dew. I think they're having to do a new Mountain Dew for Europe now. I think. Does it have red dye 40 in it?
Sure, everything does.
Well, Mountain Dew is going to make a new Mountain Dew for Europe.
Why Mountain Dew ban in EU but not US? So that was a couple years ago.
But what's the reason for it?
I'm trying to find it.
Now,
basically because it contains ingredient that can lead to memory loss.
Well, y'all are some fucked up generation coming up then.
Maybe that's what's wrong with me. My memory's not very good.
How much Mountain Dew have you drank?
I drank a lot in my younger years. That was my drink of choice. But I kicked it, you know. Plus all the seed oils are really bad for you here.
Let's talk about that.
Why
are seed oils bad?
It's just your gut's not. It's got. I don't know why it's not bad. I don't know why it's bad. It's just not good for you.
What oil is good for you though?
Olive oil, butter. That's the stuff.
Why is olive oil? I'm very curious. We're talking about this. Why is olive oil healthy, but canola oil's not?
Higher inflammation is what seed oil leads to.
Interesting. I wonder why avocado oil. I've never even heard of avocado oil. Is it the new oil now?
I think so.
Are they pressing the seeds to get the avocado oil or the whole avocado?
Don't get me lying. I don't know how they make avocado oil. Layer of controversy and conspiracy. Seed oils as a cooking ingredient are hotly debated topic within health and nutrition space. Some warn that seed oils are toxic. Other reasons. No hard evidence is there. Let me see. Of course, I'm not going to get.
I wonder if peanut oil is considered a seed oil.
I don't know. They are not the most nutrient-dense choice when looking at seed oils from a nutrition perspective. The profiles across the different kinds are quite similar. Seed oils are pretty high-calorie food without providing much in way of nutrients. Given that 1 tablespoon provides more than 3 ounces of smoked salmon, I don't know whether it's canola, whatever, vegetable oil, calories, but basically no benefit. They are higher in inflammatory fats. So that's a short answer.
You really didn't tell me nothing. But so anyways, they're just not good for you. Seed oils.
Stay away from them.
Is canola oil considered a seed oil? What about Crisco? Is that considered?
I think you stay away from Crisco. Canola oil is a seed oil.
Is Crisco? Ain't that animal fat?
I don't know. You're asking me shit that I don't know.
I know. I like doing that too.
I mean, is Crisco? It's a shortening made of vegetable oil. Is what Crisco is. So also bad for you. I think we knew that for a while though.
But I figured
Whenever
that.
my cousin Vinny, they flopped that on the griddle, I think that was our cue that Crisco was probably something you shouldn't be cooking
So
with.
you should be cooking with butter is what you should be cooking with.
Butter. Beef tallow.
It is so funny how things come complete circle.
Well, just that's, I mean, that none of this is,
I'm not disagreeing or debating any of this. It's just crazy about the things that were the norm and the regular in the 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s, then got replaced by all this other shit. And now we're going back to all that because we found out that shit was so much better for you.
right.
I mean, there was a time when it was, is it margarine or is it butter? Margarine's not good for you, I don't think.
Probably not.
But butter is.
Yes. Probably so, because of the way that it's made. Margarine contains trans fat, which raises bad cholesterol, lowers good cholesterol, and makes blood platelets stickier, increasing heart disease.
When you eat margarine, you're basically just eating plastic, aren't you?
I've never ate a whole lot of margarine, I don't think. I don't know where I would have eaten a lot of margarine. But, it's one of those things. So yeah, olive oil, avocado oil, butter, good butter. Not anything that comes out of a tube or
Kerrygold
like
butter.
That. Yeah, like get expensive butter. Spend a little bit of money on butter. Don't get country crock, because that's not what you're looking for. But
we're gonna get sued by country crock folks now.
Well, that's okay.
I thought it was butter.
Make a better product. No, it's not butter at all. Nope, it's not.
Very, very, very interesting. Football season. I guess training camp started yesterday for some teams.
I think so.
The Jets.
I guess the Jets are already making fun of Rodgers. I guess he did not look good in the uniform.
They're making fun of him.
Yeah, I called him a drug addict.
Motherfucker, wait till they see how he fucking plays, though. He don't play like a drug addict. Guy's good.
There's no telling.
What's your before season starts? Prediction time. Okay. Now we're gonna have more of these, but we're gonna do this before anything starts. Your predictions, and I want to see how they end up falling out and how much they'll change between now and then. Predictions. NFC East. Who wins it?
The Eagles.
The Eagles.
They did nothing but get better.
It would be hard to go against the Eagles. I would go that. NFC North.
Vikings again. Vikings, or I could see the Lions.
Detroit.
I could see the Lions.
I'm taking Detroit. NFC Central.
There is no NFC Central.
What's NFC South?
Probably New Orleans.
I'm taking New Orleans
Tampa
and that
Bay's
$500.
Atlanta's not going to be any good.
No.
Baker Mayfield for Tampa Bay, and then who is it? I mean, Carolina. I mean, it's just New Orleans by
Default.
By default, yeah.
I think New Orleans is going to be a whole lot better than everybody thinks. I don't think they're no contender to go to no Super Bowl or nothing, but I think they're going to be a solid football team.
I think 9-7 will get you out of that division.
Yeah, I think so too. Except it would be 10-7 or 9-8. They play 17 games. NFC West. I'm taking the Niners.
Yeah, I mean, Kyler, who knows about him?
I don't think even with him they're that good. He's not that good.
You got the Seahawks, and then
do you see the Seahawks from last year? Or do you see the ones from the year before? If they're the ones from last year, they were a pretty good football team.
I don't know if Geno is that guy. I don't know if he's got that dog in him.
Well, they bring him another receiver to go through. They got to have a hell of a passing game.
Brock Purdy's a good game manager. Just be Garoppolo 2.0 and hand the ball to Christian McCaffrey. So probably the Niners.
Okay. Super Bowl from the West or from the NFC.
Man, there's always a dark horse, but I mean it's going to be hard to not pick the Eagles again.
Yeah, they're loaded.
I mean they only got better this year.
Okay, AFC. Start with the East.
Bills.
I'm taking Miami. But my little asterisk is going to be if Tua can play 80% of the games.
Right.
If Tua gets concussion the first week and they're done, then no, I don't have them. But that's a healthy football team. I've got the Dolphins winning the East. The AFC Central.
There is no AFC Central.
AFC North.
What's Lamar gonna do? You got who else? It's gonna be the Bengals. Yeah. Bengals.
I think Cincinnati because their offensive line improved. I'd go Cincinnati. AFC South.
Who's in the AFC South?
I'm taking Jacksonville.
Yeah, Jacksonville, Tennessee. Who else is
Houston
in
and Indy.
there? Yeah, probably Jacksonville.
AFC West.
Well, who are they? The Raiders.
Chiefs, Chargers,
Oh, well,
and
then the
Broncos.
Chiefs.
I'm going to take the Chiefs also.
I mean, that's pretty easy.
Super Bowl.
Oof. I like the Bills, but I just don't know what Josh Allen's going to do. Is he going to be the turnover king again? How do you bet against Patty Mahomes?
You know when Buffalo went down?
When they lost Von Miller.
Yes. Up until that point, they were the best team in football. And let's not forget about the situation with the Cincinnati Buffalo. That played a big role because the Chiefs got home field advantage they would not have had if that wouldn't have happened.
Right.
That was a big, big thing right there.
Then you got Burrow. I mean, the AFC is now the division to watch. It used to be the NFC for me. It's the AFC.
So
now.
you're taking the Chiefs to Super Bowl?
I mean, it's hard to go against them. What have they lost? What did they lose last year? Anything? But I mean, it's Von Miller's
yeah, they lost
older.
offensive linemen.
Von Miller's a year older now. Is he going to have the impact that they did last year? I don't know.
It's hard to go. It's real hard to go to 3 Super Bowls or 2 Super Bowls in a row. It's almost impossible. So the chances of the Eagles and the Chiefs playing in another Super Bowl are pretty slim. So
I agree.
I am going to take. I'm going to take Buffalo go Super Bowl. I didn't even pick them to win their division though.
Well, they'll be in the wild card.
They'll be in the playoffs, but I'm going to take them to go to the Super Bowl just because I think they can turn it up a little bit more.
Jets miss the playoffs, you think? Or do 3 go from that division?
I think the Jets make the playoffs as the 3rd team in that division. I just don't know who else in the AFC I would put in the playoffs. Whoever wins the South is going to be in. That's going to be the only one from that division. I don't think it would come down to the Jets and Baltimore. I'm not sold on Lamar Jackson at all. So,
Week
it's hard
Buffalo.
for 3 teams. Like Dallas, New York, and Philadelphia all got in the playoffs, and that's almost impossible to do.
Week 1 Buffalo.
And then they got Dallas. They got back-to-back games.
They start 0-2.
Well,
They do have Buffalo at home on Monday night.
They'll win one of those games. But look at that. Then they got Kansas City. In their first 3 games, they've got Buffalo, Dallas, and Kansas City. And Philadelphia. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In their first 6 games, they're going to be 2-4.
2-4?
Yeah.
1.
Okay.
2.
And then look, they got the Giants playoff team. They got the Chargers who got beat to go to the playoffs,
They got a difficult schedule.
Yeah, they got a tough schedule.
And they're in a good division now.
The guy can throw the football. He's got good receivers around him. They got a great defense. They got a good running game. But they might be up against the wall with the deal.
So you're saying 2-4 going into the bye?
I'm saying there's a good chance they'll be 2-4. I would probably say 3-3. They'll beat someone. They'll beat one of those teams probably.
Okay, so we're 3-3 going to
the Giants could
Halloween.
be a loss or a win. Or their first 8 games. They got the Giants and Chargers next. If they can go 4-4 in their first 8 games, they'll make the playoffs.
Whew.
Because then they only got to win 5 of their next games to get in. And they got Vegas should be a win. They got Atlanta should be a win. They got Houston that should be a win. They got the Redskins should be a win, and they got New England and Cleveland. They got a chance to be 9-8 or 10-7. 10-7 will get you in the playoffs in the AFC this year. But you're gonna beat each other up.
That's tough.
Look at Baltimore's schedule because that's going to be that's the team they're going to be contending with for a wild card spot.
Survey says. Let me see it all.
Oh, well, surely. Okay, they've started out with Houston. That's a win. They got Cincinnati. That's a loss. They got Indianapolis, which is a win. They got Cleveland, which is a loss. I think Cleveland's going to be better this year. Then they got Pittsburgh. They're going to split with Pittsburgh. They got Detroit, but they get Arizona. Arizona sucks. They got Seattle, who's tough. Cleveland. They've got an easier schedule than the Jets do for sure. But they play Pittsburgh the last game of the year.
Yeah.
That could have playoff bearings on it. But they got San Francisco, Miami. Jacksonville's a playoff team. They got Miami's a playoff team. They got the Rams who are going to suck. They They got the Chargers who are good. They got Cincinnati. They got. I mean, they don't have a lot of. I think Arizona is one of those teams that could possibly go 3-14.
You think they're that bad?
I don't.
Cliff Kingsbury got to be glad he got out of that son of a bitch.
Well, he's the reason they're that way too.
No.
Yes.
You can't put that on my boy Cliff.
Your boy Cliff should never draft. Kyler Murray that was a bad choice. And then to give him this big extension was fucking stupid.
You can't put that on Cliff. Detroit, San Francisco. Oh, that's last year. Did we look at last year's schedule for the fucking
We might
Ravens?
have.
I don't think that we did, but that
Detroit starts out the Giants.
no, that's preseason. Kansas City.
Ooh, that'll be a good game.
That's opening night.
Big upset there coming.
Then they got Seattle.
I'm taking Detroit in a freaking in an upset.
They got a pretty easy schedule. They got the North, which is not good anymore. And then they got, I tell you, whoever plays the AFC South this year for their, non-divisional games, NFL did you a favor. And it looks like it's them, right?
Tony, bring me that tea, please. I don't think that what do you think the Green Bay Packers schedule is going to be right now before the start?
I hadn't seen their schedule.
It doesn't matter. I don't think Jordan Love is the answer.
Probably not, but I mean, you got to see, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, you do. They didn't give him a 5th-year option, right?
I
don't think so. So he's playing for a contract.
Mm-hmm.
If he goes over, if he's terrible and they got to bench him, I don't know if he'll ever get a chance to play football again.
But you're going to be 4-1 right there.
You think so?
Yeah, they're going to beat Chicago. They're going to beat Atlanta. They're going to beat New Orleans. Probably going to lose to Detroit, and they're going to beat Vegas. You don't think that they're 4-1 right there?
3-2 at the best.
You think they drop it to Chicago on opening
I think
day?
they lose to New Orleans and Detroit. I don't know why you think New Orleans is going to be so bad.
I don't think bad, but I don't think that they're going to go to Lambeau and beat them.
Why do you think Green Bay's so good all of a sudden?
I mean,
they lost the best player they had. In the last 2 years, they've lost Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers.
Uh-huh.
What do they have? Christian Watson looks like he's going to be pretty good, but it was pretty good when Aaron Rodgers was throwing the ball to him.
Matt LaFleur's a decent coach. He can scheme up some shit. So you're saying 3-2.
Do you think they have the talent?
I guess we're going to find out. A lot of question marks.
Are you going to be
team.
a Packer fan still?
I mean, I'll probably watch them.
So are you going to be a Jet fan this year?
I'll watch them.
Are you going to be a Jet fan? You're not answering the question.
What do you mean? I don't know that I have a team anymore.
So you weren't a Packer fan. You were an Aaron Rodgers fan.
I rooted for him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now that Aaron Rodgers.
I'll root for him again this year.
So you're a Jet fan then? There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just asking you.
I'll pay attention to the Jets. I also like the Bills. I like the Chiefs. I like.
Well, fucking, why don't you just pick every team?
I like the Chargers. I mean, I've gotten to where I like to just
watch football.
Yeah.
Fantasy football has done that.
Well, not just that, but I mean, just like a good Sunday night game, no matter who it is. Like if it's the Chiefs and the Chargers, I like that.
Is there a team you're rooting against?
Off the top of my head, I mean, I don't. Not that I root against them. No, I mean.
So like me, I root against the Dallas Cowboys.
I don't.
Week.
I mean, I don't care to watch Chicago. I don't care to watch Atlanta. I don't really.
But if you had Justin Fields on your fantasy football team, you wouldn't go for them.
I'm not watching Chicago. Like, I'm kind of out. Denver, I don't really care to watch. Russell Wilson doesn't really excite me, especially after last year.
But I'm asking, is there a
NFC
team
South,
that you like to see lose that you're like, I'm glad they got beat?
No.
See, like the Cowboys, I like to root against the Cowboys.
No.
And
that's not there for me. I like Burrow. I'm just a football fan, I guess, more than I am a team. But I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Like I'll always be a Redskin fan because I grew up a Redskin fan.
Really?
But I like the Eagles and I like the Giants because they all play against the Cowboys. So I'm for them guys when they're not playing the Redskins. Is usually how I've always been my whole life because I just like to see Dallas get beat. And Dallas is low picking fruit for the last 25 years. It was pretty miserable in the early 90s for me. I'm not going to lie to you. but it's been pretty enjoyable the last couple of years. I don't think Dallas breaks out of the no Super Bowl team run. I just don't think they have it. I think Dak is a very good quarterback for fantasy, but he has a lot of empty calories because they get behind, and he seems to make colossal fuck ups at the wrong time. He's kind of like a Kirk Cousins.
A little bit.
Seems like a really good dude, though. Seems like a really nice man.
Quarterback was good, though.
It was a very good. That's a very must-watch series on Netflix. I don't think that. I think C.D. Lamb's very overrated.
He's good.
He is really good. He's fast, but he drops a lot of passes.
Yeah,
he drops a lot of passes.
Like week 1 right here. That's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Detroit at Kansas City.
Yes, I hope it's 42-45. Is what I
do too. That's a good football game.
I hope it's 50-49. Honestly, don't give a shit about that game. Atlanta, Carolina, no. If Burrow was playing anybody other than Cleveland,
game, the Kansas City Detroit game will not be that high scoring a game because Kansas City's defense is very underrated.
Well, and it's opening week. Offenses aren't ready. Don't care about that game at all.
Hold on, let's talk about them. Carolina and Atlanta, boring.
Yep.
Playing for the first pick in next year's draft, maybe already.
Could be. Cincinnati at Cleveland. Cincinnati.
That's going to be a great game. Cleveland's very, very much improved, I think.
We'll see what Deshaun Watson has because he did not look that great last year. Jacksonville at
Massage Deshaun is his nickname now.
Deshaun.
I heard that today. Jacksonville to Indianapolis.
Don't give two shits about
Jacksonville
it.
by a bunch.
Tampa Bay at Minnesota. That's going to be Minnesota. Don't care to watch that. Tennessee at New Orleans. Don't care to watch that. It'll probably be Tennessee. San Francisco at Pittsburgh.
Why are you so against New Orleans? Where's they get losing Tennessee?
I don't really care about that. San Francisco's going to win. What a fucking terrible game that is. Arizona at Washington.
So basically, you've like the first game and then it's been it just about.
Yeah, Houston at Baltimore. Whatever. Baltimore's going to win. Green Bay at Chicago. It's the same. It's the same as it's been for the last 15 years for opening for week 1. Green Bay plays Chicago. Seen it already. Chicago's gotten better. They're going to win. Las Vegas at Denver.
You just said Green Bay a minute ago. You were talking good about them. Now you're saying they're going to get beat at Chicago.
No, I always said that they were going to lose at Chicago.
You just said a minute ago that why Green Bay ain't going to be that bad.
That was the game that I said that they would lose in the first 4 games.
But you acted like there was going to be 4-1, you said.
Yeah, that's the game they're going to lose.
But they're going to beat Detroit.
I think they play Detroit at home. I think they're going to split with Detroit. Las Vegas at Denver. Whatever. Probably going to be Denver. We'll see what Sean Payton has. Philly at New England. Miami at Los Angeles Chargers. That could be a good game if Tua's playing. I do like that game. Don't care about that game. Los Angeles Rams at Seattle. Dallas at New York. Once again, the NFL gave us the exact same thing that they always give us. Dallas at New York for opening weekend.
That should be a good game.
Yeah, we'll see.
What the fuck are you wanting every game to be? You've named 2 good games. That's it.
And then Buffalo at the Jets for Monday night. Rodgers debut. Buffalo takes.
So you're so excited for football that there was 2 games opening weekend that you think are good.
I mean, do
now
you,
let
do
me
you see any more games?
Let me go down it now.
Really jump out at you that you're like, I can't wait to watch that game.
Let me go down it.
Go ahead.
Detroit at Kansas City opening night. It's gonna be a ton of people there. I think Kansas City's defense is underrated. I think Detroit's defense is underrated. It would be fun. It's 50-49 game. I think it's probably going to be more like 31-28. But I think a really good game there. Carolina. Atlanta is playing for a first round pick. That game is not exciting unless you got. Bijan Robinson is your fantasy running back. In Carolina, I haven't even have a clue who the fuck you draft on their team this year.
Because they got DJ Moore is in Chicago,
yes.
Right?
Cincinnati at Cleveland will be a great game. Myles Garrett versus Joe Burrow. That is a team with a lot. Since Cleveland, I think it's going to be a whole lot better offensively. I think that game's going to be a good game. I think Cincinnati wins it. Jacksonville.
I think everybody's going to be disappointed in Deshaun Watson this year.
Okay, and we will see. That's where we're different. I think Deshaun Watson is going to be pretty good this year. Jacksonville at Indianapolis. You've got Jacksonville. You've got Trevor Lawrence. You got ETN. They just signed Ingram for a big contract extension. Indianapolis is not going to be very good. I think that'll be a blowout. Tampa Bay at Minnesota.
So you're agreeing with me? That's a shitty game.
Probably not be something I want to watch, but I would probably. It depends what I have fantasy wise. Tampa Bay at Minnesota. I think Kirk Cousins. The Addison kid is a complete dumb shit. Get arrested driving 140 miles an hour in a 55. Do not learn from Henry Ruggs, I guess.
This
Total
game,
complete.
It's going to be 31-10, and you're going to be doing this at the end of the third quarter.
I don't expect Tampa Bay to be very good. That game could be pretty boring. Tennessee at New Orleans
so
is
you're
always a good.
agreeing with me.
Tennessee at New Orleans will be a good football game because they always play tight football games. I think New Orleans will win that game.
I don't want to see a tight football game.
I'm saying tight. It might be 31-28. Also, I just think it'll be a pretty.
Does Tennessee have that firepower? Does New Orleans have that firepower?
You know what? 2 years ago, Ryan Tannehill was damn good,
right?
And he's got. Last year they had no weapons. They had none. D-Hop, 31 or not, at least gave them a weapon. Traylon Burks got hurt last year. He was starting to do better at the end. I think in Tennessee's got a really good tight end. I can't remember his name. Ugambugamage or some shit. But anyways, I think that Tennessee's going to be a little improved. I think New Orleans is going to be a playoff team. So San Francisco at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's always good, great coached. San Francisco has more weapons on offense than Pittsburgh does. I think, who'd Pittsburgh sign offensively? Did they sign Allen Robinson to go with their team?
Does it matter?
He was really good just a year or two ago. 2 years ago, he was damn good.
No.
Yeah, he was too. When he played for Chicago, he was fucking real good. Look at his stats.
That was 2 years ago.
Okay. And then you go fucking play with Stafford, and Stafford was terrible last year. Okay.
2 middle-of-the-road offenses at best. Pittsburgh's not even a very good offense.
San Francisco's offense is middle of the road.
Well, I mean, you got Brock Purdy.
When they got Christian McCaffrey the last 8 weeks of the season, they were damn good offensively.
I mean,
you got George Kittle, Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, and Christian McCaffrey. That's pretty good offense.
Yeah.
And Brock Purdy's not bad at all.
But Pittsburgh is not a high-powered offense.
No, I'm not sold on Kenny Pickett.
Kenny Pickett?
Yeah, I'm not sold on them offense, but they're well coached. And they have a great defense. That will be a good football game. Arizona at Washington, snooze fest. You got 2 terrible offenses. Washington's got some talent at receiver. Arizona has Hollywood Brown. Kyler Murray is not the answer to go to the playoffs ever. They just
Kyler tore his ACL in December.
If they think he might be ready for a group, it doesn't matter if he's completely healthy. He's not a Super Bowl quarterback. Bottom line, if you're playing,
Kyler Murray would be the only reason to watch that game, not Colt McCoy.
Which Kyler Murray, the one from 3 years ago when he still ran all the time, or the one that was banged up the last year?
No, we want to watch Kyler Murray run everywhere.
Yeah, well, he's not that Kyler Murray's
even
gone
if Kyler
forever.
Murray was in that game, I wouldn't want to watch it.
No, they were not. They were not very good offensively. Houston at Baltimore.
Snooze fest.
It should be 77-3 in that game.
But it won't be because there's a little bit of parity.
Yeah. Green Bay at Chicago. Justin Fields is the only reason to watch that game. If you have Chicago,
I agree.
Deal. But it's a rivalry game. It'd be good football. Las Vegas at Denver. I'm not sold on all this Russell Wilson shit. Someone had them picked to go to the Super Bowl. I'm like, Russell Wilson's not going to get better.
We're going to see what Sean Payton has. We'll see how good of a coach he is.
I'm telling you right now, Denver don't make the playoffs.
I feel like you're agreeing with me. And I feel like.
No, I think there's better games. I think there'll be good football games to watch. There'll be competitive games. You're just like, nope. I don't think it'll be that bad. Denver is going to be if Russell Wilson can throw the ball, he's got exciting offense.
Do you want to watch this game?
Probably.
That's what it comes down to.
It depends on who I have fantasy-wise.
Do you? There's not anybody that I give a shit about. If I had Devontae Adams, I would not care to watch that game. If I had Russell Wilson, I would not care to watch that game.
Well, I would then. Philadelphia at New England will be an exciting game because Philly's offense is really good against Bill Belichick.
Let's say when you go through these games, you got to factor in that you don't have a single player on your fantasy football team. You got to look at the matchup and tell me if that is a game that is exciting to you. Las Vegas at Denver is not that game.
Miami at Los Angeles is. The Chargers and the Dolphins.
And I said that.
Exciting game.
What about Philly and New England? You give a shit about that game?
Yeah, because I would watch that game.
I'm going to have to watch that game because Reese likes Jalen Hurts.
Well, Philadelphia's not bad. They're fun to watch.
They've got a good offense.
And New England's got a good defense.
A good defense. So that would be a semi-interesting game.
The Dallas and Giants will be a good game.
I don't really care to watch that.
Buffalo and I'll bet you $100 bill right now you watch Dallas at New York.
I will watch it, but I don't care to watch it.
Okay, but you'll $100. You don't have to turn the fucking TV off.
No, you got to watch. You got to watch it.
Buffalo at New York Jets. It's going to be Aaron Rodgers versus Josh Allen primetime. And the New York Jets probably will upset Buffalo at New York Jets.
Think so, huh?
I wouldn't be surprised. New York's got a good defense.
It wouldn't surprise me, but I'm not going to put my money on it.
There's a lot to happen between now and then. I'm so excited for football.
I really feel like
college, the NFL, high school football, something to talk about and watch. We live in Texas. It's a big thing.
I really feel like you just agreed with me. You bashed me early, and then you're like, yeah, Andy. No,
there's
really
games
right.
I'll watch. You acted like there wasn't nothing to watch ever except 2 games, and there's more than that. I mean, every week's going to have
three.
some teams that. But what's funny is once we get into season, all of a sudden, some of these games become interesting because it's got side notes to it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not disagreeing with
I
you.
mean, if you go over to week 2 and you look at it, it's going to be the same fucking thing.
No, week 2 is going to be great. Minnesota at Philadelphia. That'll be a good game. Nope. Green Bay at Atlanta. Las Vegas at Buffalo. Buffalo should. Baltimore at Cincinnati. That'll be a good game.
Mm-hmm.
Burrow and
I agree.
Lamar. Seattle at Detroit. Probably not going to be.
Should be a good game. Two teams fighting for a playoff spot, probably a wild card spot.
Yeah. Chargers at Tennessee. I guess when going back to that, Tennessee's a team that I don't care if they do very well.
Why?
I just don't like them.
Okay, why though?
I Tannehill, like, I like the flashy quarterback. Tannehill's the guy, and that's probably why I don't like Kirk Cousins. Just steady Eddie, don't do it for me.
Kirk Cousins is really hard to root against after watching
quarterback. Yeah,
he's a super good guy,
tough kid, very good guy. But being a 6 or a 7, I have a hard time rooting for you, and that's what I think Tannehill is. So Chicago at Tampa Bay, do not care to watch that game. That could be interesting. Kansas City at Jacksonville, 2 playoff teams from last year. Indianapolis at Houston, no way in hell. If not happening, not watching that. San Francisco at the Rams.
The Rams are completely irrelevant now.
I don't know what the Rams are going to be like. You got Cooper Kupp. Giants at Arizona, should be the Giants. Jets at Dallas, I look forward to watching that just because Rodgers and the Cowboys, that'll be interesting. Commanders at Denver, nope. Miami at New England, nope.
Who's your team? We'll quit talking about football because it's basically what we've talked about. But who's the team that has been absolutely bad the last couple of years is going to come out of nowhere? Every year it does it. Last year it was the Giants. The Giants and Detroit both took huge steps in improving their teams. And both of them are going to be fighting for a playoff spot this year. Who do you think, out of all the teams that aren't very good, which team would surprise you if they didn't turn around and be pretty decent this year?
That's a good question.
I
mean, if you just look at that, you got to say the Jets, right? Because
I don't know if you really count them because they were pretty decent last year.
Yeah, but they're on Hard Knocks.
Yeah. So was Detroit last year. So the Jets are your team you think will be a huge turnaround.
I don't know about huge, but
you know what's sad about that is there's not a future there.
No, you got a 2-year Band-Aid. I mean, who are the receivers in New Orleans?
Olave, who's very good. Michael Thomas, who I don't trust at all. They got Josh Johnson or whatever his name is as their tight end. They have Kamara, and they signed the kid from Detroit, Jamal Williams.
If Deshaun Watson hits, it'll be Cleveland. Will be the team that's kind of.
I think Cleveland is going to be a really good. I think Cleveland has a chance to be a playoff team.
But I'm
this
not
year.
sold on Deshaun Watson. So,
if Deshaun Watson was what he was 3 years ago, do you think they're a playoff team?
3 years ago is a long time in the NFL.
But he don't have a lot of mileage put on him. He ain't been banged up.
I don't know.
I think quarterback is one of those things. If you're a young guy and you set his situation, we've never had a situation like his ever, where a guy in his prime just didn't play for 2 years. He come back and played last year, and he was not very good.
Right.
But he's got talent. Mari Cooper's very good.
What did Dan Snyder do?
The team got a lot of shit.
But was it all about like sexual harassment or whatever, workplace environment type shit?
I think he was just a piece of shit.
Oh.
He's the one that leaked the John Gruden deals that backfired on his ass because he's ended up costing him.
Right.
And I don't know why he didn't like John Gruden. He had his brother as his coach.
Don't get me lying. But yeah, so I don't know anything about the new owner of the Commanders.
It's just an ownership group. I think the guy owns some New Jersey Devils and some other things. He owns some hockey teams. Maybe I don't know. He owns a couple of hockey teams or does own a hockey team. Some other sports franchise.
You know, we were hard on Kirk Cousins for being 4th and 10 and throwing it 5 yards.
Until I heard his explanation.
It's either I get the ball out and he can make a play or I take a sack. Neither one are very good options. So that made a lot of sense. So when I was hard on him, probably shouldn't have been. Take it back.
That's a tough position to play.
He's a nerd, though. Did you see him measuring his brain waves?
You're very nerdy.
Like, maybe it works. I don't know.
He's the kind. If I could pick any kid in the NFL that's a quarterback to be my son,
Kirk Cousins
would be hard to not pick. He's a good family man. He's a Christian. He's a very thoughtful person. He's a good man. He may never be a Super Bowl, but he's a fucking winner in life. And he would be hard to not be proud to have as your son. You'd be proud of any kid. I don't give a shit if he's a third-string quarterback fucking Indianapolis. You'd be proud as your son. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But Kirk Cousins, if I could pick any quarterback starting in the NFL to be my son, he would be hard not to pick just because he's a good all-around person. And I'm not saying there's not a lot of other good all-around people in there. Aaron Rodgers, I wouldn't want him on my fucking team. He wouldn't even speak to you by now. He's fucking disowned his family. And a lot of those people, like Jordan Love, I don't know nothing about him. The Ritter kid at Atlanta, I don't know. Marcus Mariota seemed like a nice kid. Patrick Mahomes seems like a nice kid. But I think that Kirk Cousins would be about as he just seems like a really good all-around person.
Yeah.
And I was very impressed with Patrick Mahomes, and which little bit I know about him is not a lot, but he seems like a good family man. He puts his family first. He puts up with that goofy fucking brother of his, and his wife seems like she's a lot of work.
I'm glad they didn't show a whole lot of Jackson. But that would have ruined it.
But as a person, he seems like a really good person, and he's big on his family too. But just Kirk Cousins, just all around. If you haven't seen Quarterback on Netflix, I highly recommend it. It's a really good show.
I did see that they're going to do like what is it, Untold, I think is what it's called. It's going to be about the Gators with Urban Meyer and all the murderers they had on the team, and they're going to do one on Manziel.
That'd be interesting.
So they're going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to those.
Manziel's just a spoiled brat.
He made a lot of money in college. Wasn't supposed to, but he did.
And Urban Meyer is the bottom of the fucking barrel when it comes to people being a person. I really believe that.
Why?
I think that everything that
he put winning above everything.
Everything that Art Briles gets
a slam for
is Urban Meyer. I think it's kind of like Biden and Trump. Everything the Democrats tell you Trump is exactly what they are.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the way it is. I think Art Briles got a real shitty deal. And I think that Urban Meyer has gotten a free pass. And he won more than Art Briles was, but if Art Briles was the schools Urban Meyer was, he might have won just as much because he was a very fucking good coach. But I'm Urban Meyer's a piece of crap.
Boy, week 3 looks bad.
Week 3.
No, thank you.
Giants at San Francisco. That'd be a good Thursday night game.
It gets ugly. It gets ugly fast, Jeff.
Denver, Miami could be a decent game if Russell Wilson's good. Chargers at Minnesota, 2 playoff teams maybe. New England at New York's a division game. Buffalo at Washington. Oof. Houston, Jacksonville, Indy, Baltimore, Carolina, Seattle, Chicago at Kansas City, Dallas, Arizona, Pittsburgh at Las Vegas. They got 2 Monday night games that week.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
I don't know.
Philly at Tampa and the Rams at Cincinnati. I think me and you're going to be in Canada then anyways.
It gets ugly fast, Jeff.
That's a week we're going to be gone, I think, hunting.
September?
We'll be gone. No, it's not. It's October.
We're in October twice.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. But yeah.
All right. This weekend you'll be at Dive Bomb at Squad Fest.
Next weekend.
Next week. Well,
when's
this come out?
Today.
Okay. So next weekend you and Jesse will be in St. Louis.
Yep.
Squad Fest. Come talk to Andy. We'll be at Boss.
Squad Fest 3.0.
Have shells for sale at Boss at the booth there. I think they're sold out on vendors. Should be a lot of people there.
Mm-hmm.
So
yep. So I'll be there. Come up, say hello, buy your shotgun shells for the year. A lot of our sponsors are going to be there. Pacific will be there, obviously. Die Bomb. Where's Corey going to be? Double T. He'll be at Delta,
but he's not. I don't think he has a booth. He's coming
to
Delta, but I do not think he has a booth. Him and Rick are going to be there.
Okay. But between the 2 shows that are going on that weekend, I mean, you can pretty well stop at every single one of our sponsors. And Jeff will be at Delta, and then whoever is not at Squad Fest, which a lot of companies are just splitting and sending teams to both. But if one had to choose one over the other, between all of our sponsors and the 2 shows, you can find them.
Alpha Outdoors will be at Delta, where I will be at in Little Rock. They will have the Stanfield stool, and they also have the blind caddy. You need to check it out. It's really cool. They will have the blind caddy there and the Stanfield stool. Then we will be, what else was I going to say? Then at the end of October, Shin Gear is having the film fest. We talked about Jeff Jones the other day. You need to check it out. And Shin Gear's got a new waiter special for youth.
Yeah,
you
for
can buy your
kiddos.
kids waiters and trade them out as they grow older with a little money exchange. I think that's a wonderful deal.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's nothing. I mean, kids grow up, and then it's like, what am I going to do with all this shit? But like, I guess it's like kind of like a trade-in program.
Yes.
So it's a good idea.
But really good idea. All right. Go ahead.
Do you buy the waiters first, and then each year you pay like $100 or whatever?
I think you buy them and you keep them for a year or two, and then you send it to them. And if everything's good on them and they're not tore up, then they give you a trade-in value on them and move you to another pair. And I don't know if you trade with someone. I don't know how it all works, but it's a great idea for your kids.
Yeah. Because then by the time that they're 18, you've got 10 sets of everything, and it's like, well, I guess I'll just give it away.
Yeah, or pass it. And wait, hold on. Let me tell you something. Keep it for your grandkids because your grandkids are right around the corner. That's what we do. We've got tons of shit left over from one kid to the next. It's funny when I see Reese and them wearing stuff that Payne wore or you wore. And shit, the other day, last year, one of them was wearing something Zach wore, I remember. I thought, God, man, that shit's 25 years old. But if you take care of it in the store, it'll last forever.
Yeah, 100%. Just don't.
Put them in tubs. Tubs are cheap at Lowe's. Take your hunting clothes up, put them up, store them, put them in your closet. If you don't shit them 50 years from now, your kids will sell them, be worth some money.
Yeah.
You imagine finding some old Filson shit, 70 years old. Wouldn't that be cool?
I come from a poor family, Jeff. They don't buy nice shit. I'm the first one.
All right.
The first one.
We got anything else to really talk about?
I don't think so. Who do we got next week? We've got
Austin
Metter.
I think it's Austin Metter. I need to look it up and see.
Got the number 6 song in country music right now. We'll talk a little bit about the Jason Aldean scandal, which
we didn't touch on that today because we're going to touch about it with next week.
It's a little silly to me, but
what's a little silly? You think Jason Aldean's wrong?
Just the whole. Jeff,
he didn't do nothing wrong.
I have spent a week.
Austin Moody.
Austin
Moody's got a song, I'm Just Saying, which has been number 6 on iTunes. And then the Aldean song come out, so Aldean's number 1. But you've been saying what?
I've spent a week with Dirk.
Mm-hmm.
I'm totally zenned out. Totally zenned out. I'm tired of the outrage. I'm tired of it all.
All Jason Aldean did was write a song.
I don't even think he wrote it.
Or he sang a song.
It's not even that good of a song.
Ooh.
Have you listened to it?
The message is really good.
Have you listened to it?
Yes, I have. You don't think the message is right, though?
It shouldn't be the number 1 country song.
Why?
It's an okay song.
What should be the number 1 country song?
I don't even know what the fucking other. I don't even know what my options are, Jeff.
I only know of 2 songs, even because I don't listen to today's music hardly at all. I will say this: the message is you should try that in a small town, and he's right. You pull some of that Antifa bullshit, and you go to a small town, and it's not going to last. The people on the left are saying, "Well, if they do that, we'll talk about this next week." Because this will be a big topic on Monday's
Fast
podcast.
Car 100% should be
That's
the
a
number
great
1 song in that.
Okay. Have you listened to the words of it?
Fast Car?
Have you actually listened to the words on it? You hear what it talks about the baby being aborted on it?
It doesn't say that.
Okay, I just was testing you.
It doesn't say that at all. The guy's just a piece of shit. The only thing he brought to that relationship was a fast car.
That's a really good song, though.
Yeah, it's the best. That should be the number 1 song until something better comes on. Last night, here's the deal. The only reason that Try That in a Small Town is number 1 is because of the controversy. That's the only reason. I've heard it for 3 months, and I never thought it was that great of a song.
Have you heard Austin Moody's I'm Just Saying? That's the kid that's going to be on. He's number 7
Yeah,
right
number
now.
7 right there.
It's a good song.
Yeah. Save Me by Jelly Roll.
Never even heard it.
You haven't heard Save Me?
I
You
don't
have
listen.
too heard Save Me.
I don't think so. I don't listen. I know Fast Cars because your mom used to like Tracy Chapman, so I knew that song when she had it out.
Jelly Roll.
And he does a great job on it.
Need a Favor is good. Lainey Wilson, Watermelon Moonshine. I have not ever heard that. Hardy, Lainey Wilson, Wait in the Truck.
Well, look at old Duck Hodges woman. She's everywhere.
I've never heard that. And White Horse by Chris Stapleton. I've not heard that. So
I cannot wait for Austin to be on the podcast with us next week.
But tell
we're
me,
going to talk about his
do
words.
you think that should be the if it's not shrouded with controversy, that's not the number 1 song in the world. It did not just come out.
I'm telling you right now, if Well, I'm not going to say no because I don't want to jinx anybody. If any singer that's been around that is not that good right now got killed today in an accident, then next week one of their songs will be fucking number one. It happens all the freaking time.
Right.
So I don't know. But yes, is he probably
Came out in May.
Okay. Is he probably a benefactor of what's going on in this world? Yes. And it's the left's fault. If CMT would not have canceled that song, it probably would not have happened. But when it does, people stand up and say, hey, fucking look right now, Dan and Shay have a song in the top 11. So right there tells you that you shouldn't even look at any kind of
No,
list.
but I think that goes by downloads.
Okay. I'm not against anybody singing whatever they want to. But when you do things that's political, you have two chances. You have a chance of it being really popular or it's not very popular. CMT canceled that, but they would probably play WAP.
CMT wouldn't.
Well, I don't.
Country
somebody
music.
would. Somebody would. I believe what he says in that song. I do believe strongly in. You can't pull that shit in a small town. People in small town have different values. We're not afraid to stand up as much because if you call law enforcement, they're going to be on your side probably. In a big city, you don't know what the fuck you're going to get.
All I said was that it was an okay song.
It's been propagated because of the shit that happened, but that happens all the time.
But it's not a great song.
Well, it may not be. I don't know. I've listened to it.
It's just it's an okay song. It's been out since May. It didn't even move the needle when it came out.
I like Luke Combs' High School Beer a whole lot more than I do.
Never heard it.
High School Beer? Yeah, you have. Ice Cold Beer, Never Let Me Down.
Oh,
I don't know the name of it.
I don't like that.
You know, that's a damn good song.
No.
Huh?
No.
You're shitting me.
No, I hate that song, as a matter of fact.
Well, after some shit you made me listen to, next time you ride with me, that's what we're listening to. That's a good song.
I don't like shit like that. That's not my cup of tea at all.
What's your cup of tea?
I like songs with messages in them.
There is a message.
Oh, it's a fucking Bubba song.
Huh?
It's a Bubba song.
How the fuck do you figure it's a Bubba song?
Long neck, ice cold beer never broke my heart.
It hasn't. Has it yours? Busting a fish off. Don't tell me that don't bother you because I saw you bust some fish off and you got pretty disappointed this week.
It is a Bubba song.
A Bubba song.
I have listened to it maybe half of a time.
You think Fast Cars is better than that?
Fuck yes, by a million miles.
Not close.
Fuck yes, by a million miles.
No.
Well, let's just look at the lyrics between them both. What is it called? Beer Never Broke My Heart.
Beer Never Broke My Heart. Great song. I had a largemouth bass bust my line. A couple beautiful girls tell me goodbye. Trucks break down, dogs run off, politicians lie, I've been fired by the boss. That's a fucking life. That's right there. Takes one hand to count the things I can count on. No, there ain't much, man. They ain't never let me down. Long neck, ice cold beer never broke my heart. Great, great song.
No.
Like diamond rings and football teams have torn this boy apart. Yep, great song. Now go to fucking Fast Cars.
That is a
great song.
It is a Bubba song.
Well, I'm a Bubba.
Fast car lyrics.
You got a fast car. I want a ticket to anywhere. Maybe we make a deal. Maybe together we can get somewhere. Any place is better. Starting from a zero. Got nothing to lose. Maybe we'll make something. Me, myself, I got nothing to prove.
No.
Yeah.
Trying to make it, Jeff.
Yeah. Nope, not even close.
Attached to somebody. Been working at the convenience store. Managed to save just a little bit of money. Won't have to drive too far. Just cross the border and into the city. Maybe we can both get jobs. And then he decides to just stay out drinking with his buddies. Because all he had to bring to that fucking thing was a fast car.
Yeah, whatever.
So
I'm disagreeing with you on that.
That's got some meaning to it.
Now, does Luke Combs sing it better than Tracy Chapman?
Yes.
You think so?
100%. 100%. Absolutely.
I think so too. I would have to agree with you on that.
Yes.
Which I like Luke Combs a lot.
That is now Luke. I like Luke Combs.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I like Luke Combs.
That's his third favorite song that he has of mine. It's Fast Cars.
That's first for me, probably.
Okay. Well, of course.
And then,
because it's number one right now, and that's why you roll, Andy.
I've been listening to that since May
Fast Cars?
when that first came out, rather than try that shit in a small town.
Is it on your playlist?
I don't have a playlist, Jeff.
I was sitting rode with you for 2 days this and then the last 6 days.
I type in a song and then iTunes automatically populates the next song. I don't have a playlist.
Well, whoever's populating for you does not do a very good job populating.
Yeah, they've been kind of missing lately.
Okay. So
I've had to go searching a little bit.
When I first started dating your mom, she listened to Tracy Chapman a lot. So
she's like a 2-hit wonder, isn't she?
I don't even know if she's got 2.
Yeah, she's got that other one.
That other one, I don't even know what it was. She was at Mom saw her in Abilene at a bar one night.
Lesbian?
Well, I think she was a lesbian back then too. At a lesbian bar, I don't know. It was just there.
Give me one
reason. Yeah.
So 2. She got 2 songs. I wonder what her net worth is. Surely she's got it. You think off 2 songs? Oh, maybe I was wrong. Husband. Oh, maybe not.
She's in a relationship with Alice Walker. That's her husband.
Is that what it says?
Yeah.
Let's look up her net worth. Off of 2 hit songs. I don't know if she wrote them or not.
2.5 million.
That's it?
I'm guessing. I don't know.
I'm going to say 6.
6 million. Very
Damn.
good. Yep. Good for her.
Or approximately 8 if you go to the other one.
Well, at least she's
off of 2 hit songs.
Watch out for Alice, Tracy. She's going to take half your shit.
That one says 10 million. So we're getting all sorts of.
Anyway, she's got a good living and she's making some money off this one. I don't know if you make much money off of your music nowadays like it used to be when they played on the radio all the time. I don't know how that iTunes works out with. She wrote it. She wrote it. Yeah.
Okay, good.
She's
for
the only
her.
black woman to ever have a #1 country song that she wrote. I saw that the other day.
Oh, that was country back then?
No. It is
now. Today?
Today it's #1 on the country charts, and she's the first
black
black
was
woman.
Until this. Try that in the small town. I'm going to go get my gun.
This is going to be really awkward if I get an email back from Jason Aldean saying he'll be on the podcast.
Well,
then I'm going to watch you back this shit up.
He should be thinking that CMT canceled this.
Steve, our good friend Steve Barber used to talk shit about Gary Patterson when he was at TC all the time, constantly talking shit about him because he's a Texas guy. Well, then Gary Patterson now is at Texas and has done a great job on their defense. And so last year I told Steve, I said, coming up, I said, yeah, your buddy's going to be here on the hunt the same time you are. Really? Who is it? I said, Gary Patterson. Huh? I said, Gary Patterson, the coach that was at TCU. Oh, yeah, man, he's done a damn good job at Texas. I said, yeah, remember all that shit you talked about him at TCU? Steve called me 2 days before the hunt. Hey, you're really not going to embarrass me around Gary Patterson, are you? You're not going to bring up any of that shit. I said, are you? So, I'm going to, Steve. He's scared to death that Gary Patterson was going to be up here.
Yeah. Hold on. So, yeah, it reached, is it 31 until the controversy?
Well, he was a benefactor of that.
But that's what I'm saying.
Did his people release that deal or did someone else? That's a good way to make a song. I listened to
it was the music video is what they don't like. It's not the song.
But
that's what I'm saying.
It's funny. The left comes out and says that now what's going to happen is you're going to make the Antifa and the BLM come to small towns and burn it up. That's going to be a big mistake for them.
Mm-hmm.
A big, big mistake for them. So if that's what they think they want to do, I would highly recommend they don't do that for their own safety.
But that's what I'm saying. Nobody gave a shit until the music video was a little bit controversial. And then CMT pulled it, and now it's #1.
Did you see what Harris?
Fine.
Did you see what Harris Faulkner on Fox said? You know who she is, the black lady?
I don't.
She come out and said, she goes, it's crazy that people are mad at this words they used when if you watch a rap song and they use the N-word and kill a cop and do this. She goes, have you ever broke down the lyrics of a rap song that they play on these music places? Now, it's probably not on CMT.
Right.
But just the music that doesn't get that all these people are coming out now like what's that goofy bitch right there? Sheryl Crow.
Mm-hmm.
Her and all these other people, well, I don't see you griping about anything that NWA ever said about killing cops.
Right.
Don't be a hypocrite.
I was going to look up a hip song, but
I don't even know what the hip song is.
I don't either. That's my problem. Blinding Lights, I don't think says anything bad, but who knows? But anyway, I digress.
All right.
But I will say it wouldn't have been #1 without the controversy.
It will be.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
It would be. A lot of people get awful wealthy off of that. Well, when all the controversy at WAP, you think she sold more albums then?
100%.
Yeah. So it's good. So if you're a singer and someone comes out against everything you say,
it's
good for you.
Just like Morgan Wallen. He got a little racist when he got drunk. They tried to cancel him.
And
he's selling out everywhere.
In San Diego, California.
Really?
Yeah.
Good for him.
I don't even know. What racist? I guess he used the hard R.
Yeah, he was drunk, and I think his neighbor was pissed off that he'd been coming in late for the last week and making a hoopla when he came in, and he recorded him and released it to TMZ.
You think he's a horse's ass?
Morgan Wallen?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or just a drunk?
I definitely think he likes to party.
He's got a drinking issue.
How can you not?
There's a lot of them that don't. Could be like old Garth Brooks.
He's begging people to send money to the Ukraine.
Fuck him.
What do you think of before we get off of here, I saw an interesting video. The actors are on strike. SAG is on strike. And this was what was funny.
Yeah, I've lost a lot of sleep over this.
Jason Vanderbeek, who played Mox on Varsity Blues, he was the backup quarterback, makes a video.
Oh, yeah.
Makes a video supporting the cause. But this is how he starts the video. I couldn't make it on the picket lines. I am vacationing with my family. I'm off vacationing with my family. But this is me supporting your cause. Motherfucker, get your priorities straight before you come out there and be a social justice warrior. Not even a social justice warrior, but don't be like, yeah, I back you, but
I'm in the south of France with my family.
I am on a vacation with my family.
Those people live in an alternative.
Now, I do think that he does a lot of RVing and camping and stuff like that. So he might not have been on the south of France, but when he said that, like, he kind of lost a lot of the credibility. Like, yeah, this is important, but I had a vacation planned.
You know what's the problem for them?
AI.
In 1975, they weren't on strike, and people couldn't come home and watch their fucking TV, and there wasn't nothing on. There'd be a bunch of fucking people pissed.
Right.
Today, people don't care.
Right.
I mean, what on TV? I can tell you my TV schedule for this weekend. I am going to watch. I'm probably going to watch in my office. I've been on my office for 4 days, so I'm going to catch up. And I'm probably going to put on my laptop and watch Dirt Vision and watch the sprint car races from last night. See what happened while I was gone.
Oh boy!
Tonight I'm going to watch. We've got a birthday party and a sprint car, and I'm going to watch sprint cars tonight. And I'll find something on Netflix to watch late tonight, or on Amazon Prime, or I might watch an old war movie. That's it for the weekend. I don't have anything else I'm going to watch. I'll watch some Food Network probably Sunday night. Usually me and Mom watch something together. We'll start a new series or something, and that's it. That's for my weekend. If they don't make another movie in fucking Hollywood this year, or a new TV show, I don't care.
Right.
I absolutely don't care. Football's fixing to start. I watch football anyway. It's all I watch because I'm busy. Do you watch any series that's on TV right now?
No.
Is there any movies coming out? I would like to see Oppenheimer. I would like to see that. Is there anything that you want to see?
No, I started a movie this morning that I've been wanting to see. It was called Babylon. It's got Margot Robbie, Brad Pitt.
I saw the previews of that.
It looked interesting. It looked like a little bit of fun. It could be kind of like the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood vibe. It's on Amazon Prime.
That's actually a good show, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Very good show. And this kind of had similar vibes to it. So I was like, this looks interesting. I'll watch
What's
it.
her name's in it? Oh, fucking, what's the chick? Jean Smart. What the fuck was her name on Reba?
I don't know. She wasn't in Reba.
Yeah, she was.
No, she wasn't.
Look it up. That's the chick that played that.
No, Frasier. Definitely Frasier, not her.
Jean Smart. Which one is she?
Anyway, I started it this morning. It's on Amazon Prime. I made it 4 minutes. The first 4 minutes, there's an elephant shitting on a guy, trying to get an elephant up a hill in a horse trailer. And then there's a hooker pissing on a fat guy, naked fat guy laying on the ground. She pisses all over his legs and then walks up over his face and pisses all over his face.
What are you watching these days?
That's how Babylon starts. Jessie walked in. She's like, what in the fuck are you watching? And then it's like this big orgy type thing is the next scene. So I turned it off. That's not how I wanted to drink my coffee.
So that's what you started out watching.
That's what I started out. I made it 4 minutes, and then I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna have to revisit this one when I'm in a different mindset."
Oh, Jean Smart was on Designing Women. That's who I was thinking the big tall chick that was on Reba.
Barbara Jean.
Barbara Jean. But I remember her. She was the really nice lady that was on worked for the Sugar Bakers and Designing Women.
Yeah.
Okay, that's where I got confused.
So anyway,
so Babylon is what you're gonna watch.
I had seen the trailer to this. It looked interesting, but the first 4 minutes are out there. I don't know if it gets better.
Let me know if it's good. If it is, I may watch it.
It's a 3-hour movie. Like, it might be difficult to get through.
But other than that, what TV shows are you going to miss? No. People don't care in our country. That's the problem in Hollywood is those people think it's the golden age of film where everything they do, everybody in America cares about. Most people don't give two shits about Hollywood anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, there's too good of cameras and people doing their own shit they can watch. More people watch YouTube than I bet there's more people watch YouTube every night than ABC.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's the problem with them though. Mom and them said they watched our series on the TV at the house. on YouTube at the house. They didn't watch it on. They watched it on TV.
Right. But and then I started Mad Men on the plane, so now I got to find out where Mad Men is because that was a good show that I never watched when it was at its height.
That's on one of our deals.
Oh,
I don't know which one. It is very good.
You got a lot of old shit that I can watch.
Oh.
Anyway, I do want to see Oppenheimer.
Yeah, me too.
But I think that's another 3-hour movie. I don't have 3 hours. I'll wait until that is on Amazon Prime and then do that. So anyway, big week next week. Just got back from Louisiana. Go check out the second season premiere of The First Family of Waterfowl. And then every Thursday evening, you can expect another episode of that. Appreciate everybody listening. Have a great weekend. And
don't forget our Patreon account. A lot of new videos in there. Every week we have at least 3 videos up. With hunting season, we'll have some extra clips here and there. We just did a giveaway for a hunt for 2 days. Congratulations to the winner on that. Thank you for listening to us. God bless y'all. Have a great weekend and be safe.
Check out our sponsors. Go check out Lucky Duck, Dirty Duck Coffee, Shin Gear, Looking Glass Podcast, Dive Bomb Industries, Pacific Calls, Boss Shot Shells, Ducks Unlimited, Double T British Kennels, Mossberg, Stanfield Outfitters, Hemp Hill Farm. Go get that CBD and Alpha Outdoor Specialties.